When a marriage is ending, the pressure can just be intense. I mean, everything inside you is probably screaming, just pack a bag, get out, and get some peace. But what feels like a step towards relief, well, it can actually be a huge misstep with some really serious consequences down the road.
So let's get right into it. Why is this one decision often called the biggest mistake you can make? It's a question that honestly trips so many people up. That choice to move out, especially when it's done in the heat of the moment without a real plan, can totally change the outcome of your entire divorce. Let's break down why.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. It lays out the 3 huge risks we're going to dive into: your relationship with your kids, your money, and this really powerful legal idea called the status quo. And trust me, these aren't small things. We're talking about case-altering problems.
All right, first up, and for a lot of you, this is the big one: the impact on your children. Moving out of the house without any kind of formal agreement in place can have an immediate and pretty significant effect on your custody case.
Okay, to really get this, you got to get inside the head of a family court judge. Their main goal, above all else, is to cause the least amount of disruption for the kids. So when one parent stays in the family home, keeping the same school, the same friends, the same daily routine, that parent starts to look like, well, the anchor, the stable one.
So here's how that actually happens in real life. You move out, and maybe you start seeing your kids just on the weekends. Well, pretty soon, that new pattern can become the normal schedule in the court size. Suddenly, the other parent is in the driver's seat, and they can control your access. And worst of all, even if it's totally unfair, it can look like you just stepped back from being a daily parent.
Now for the second huge risk, the financial trap. This is the one that really blindsides people because, they're understandably focused on just needing to get out of a bad emotional situation.
It's really that simple and that brutal. Think about it. The money that used to support one household, now it's got to stretch to cover 2. You've got your new rent or your own mortgage, but you are very likely still on the hook for at least part of the old mortgage, the rent, and all the bills. Now, this number, it's just an example, but man, does it show you how this works. Let's say your share of the old mortgage is $2,000 and your new apartment costs $2,500. Just like that, your housing costs have more than doubled. And this cash crunch happens at the exact same time you need money for lawyers and to start building your new life.
And don't think this is just a temporary headache. Courts can issue what are called temporary orders that force you to keep paying for the marital home. That financial strain means you have less money for your own lawyer. And here's the kicker. These temporary support setups can create a pattern that heavily influences the final divorce agreement.
This brings us to the third biggie. And honestly, this might be the most powerful legal concept of them all: the status quo. You absolutely have to understand this term before you make a single move.
So what the heck is status quo? Well, in family law, it just means the way things are right now. And you need to know that judges are really hesitant to shake things up if a situation seems to be working, especially when it comes to the kids.
See, the second you walk out that door and a new parenting schedule starts, bam, you've just set a new status quo. And if a few weeks or months go by and the kids seem okay living mostly with the other parent, a judge is going to be very reluctant to order a big change. You've accidentally created a precedent that now works against you.
Okay, we need to pause here for a second, because there's a massive, and I mean massive, exception to everything I've just said. There are absolutely times when leaving isn't just an option, it's necessary. Let's be perfectly clear on this. If there is domestic violence, serious threats, any kind of abuse that makes the home unsafe for you or your children, then your safety is priority number 1. Period. The legal system is not going to punish you for leaving a dangerous situation. Get out, get safe, and then get help.
But let's say you have to leave, and it's not because of immediate danger. There is a smart way to do it. The whole game here is to be proactive, not reactive. So before you pack a single box, you work with a lawyer. First, you get a temporary parenting plan or a court order in writing. That protects your time with your kids. Second, you get legal advice on the money so you know exactly what you're walking into.
In this chart, man, it lays it all out clear as day. Just look at the difference here. Move out without a plan, you risk being seen as less involved, your time with your kids gets cut, and you're stuck paying for 2 homes. But if you stay, it's so much easier to show you're the continuous caregiver, to keep your parenting time, and you still have access to all the important documents and property. It really summarizes what's at stake. So it all comes down to this one question, really. The status quo is going to get set, one way or another. So is your new normal going to be decided in a moment of panic? Or is it going to be set by a smart strategic plan that you create?
At the end of the day, this isn't just about legal games or trying to win. Making a smart decision here is about protecting your basic rights as a parent and, maybe most importantly, protecting your kids' well-being while they go through this tough time.
And that really brings us to the number one most important thing I can tell you in this entire explainer. Every single case is different, and the laws are different everywhere. So before you make any move, the smartest, safest thing you can do is talk to a family law attorney in your area. It's the absolute best way to know your options and protect your future.